Hey guys, today is another decluttering video, but this one is a little bit different. And why? Because I have an idea about how to minimize the clutter but still keep my shadows. And really this is about decluttering in terms of decluttering packaging. You don't necessarily need to get rid of the contents of the packaging if you still use the contents of the packaging, but sometimes it's just the sheer amount of stuff that seems overwhelming. For me, I'll show you what I did to two of the palettes that I thought were occupying too much space, and I basically depotted them into this Freedom System palette, magnetic palette from Makeup Forever Professional Paris. This is a palette that I've had for a while and I haven't really been using it a ton, but recently I've pulled it out and I've kind of started using it in conjunction with my small Inglot palette. So I have a big one to store shadows and I have a smaller one in which I make my own little mixes and sort of use the shadows that I have. Here I have 3 face products, 1 face/eye product and 5 eye products. This is what is currently in my little makeup box. I'll show you later what is in general in my makeup box. But I have depotted some eyeshadows into this big guy over here to make sure and actually use my products. That way I can also determine with time which shadows I'm actually using and which individual shadows from various palettes I'm not really using, and declutter the ones that I'm not really using and only keep the ones that are really useful for me. So the 2 palettes that I've decluttered are the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. I haven't bothered to declutter this purple shade because the pigmentation is actually not great. You can see that this violet color is really not up my alley in terms of quality, in terms of pigmentation, in terms of blendability. This is just a bad shadow out of the bunch. The rest of them are pretty good quality. And I've done the same, I'm taking this thing apart, to my Naked 3 palette. You see that I've mangled it up. I've taken it apart, cut it apart, pulled the shadows out and depotted them, all of them, this time around. Didn't leave anything behind, into this Makeup Professional palette. And let me show you what I'm ending up with. So this is a combination of MAC, Inglot, and the Balm depotted shadows that had been there for a while. This is my stuff from the Chocolate Bar, and this is my stuff from the Naked 3 palette. So I'm going to go ahead and test out, basically pull into my current rotating Inglot palette, like the one that has the smaller one that has individual shadows in it. I'll be kind of keeping some, pulling some out, rotating them in and out, and I will declutter the shadows that I don't personally really love. And it's going to be a much more manageable way to declutter things, and I won't have to declutter things that I really truly love. For instance, I might keep, say, half of the Chocolate Bar palette and the other half I just wouldn't be impressed enough to keep. So, you know, it's possible that some colors you favor and some colors you never use. So why keep the ones you never use? This is where these Freedom palettes come into play. And I've really been interested in expanding my use of these kinds of palette and decreasing by depotting my use of these palettes, because it's just simply a lot more practical, to be honest. Yes, you don't keep the cute packaging, but in the end, you really end up with the specific colors that you really love, and I think that's important to me at this point, at least in my makeup using life. Let me know if you use these Freedom kinds of palettes or the Z palette. For me, this is quite enough. I like to keep like a smaller size one so that I can swap things in and out, and a big one to keep the actual shadows in for storage purposes. And I think that's great. So now I already had these 2 in my collection. So these I didn't have to purchase, they were already there. It's like I've decluttered 2 palettes, but without the pain of actually getting rid of all the shades that I may or may not want to use in the future. So now I'm gonna keep swapping the colors from the bigger one in and out of the smaller one, and really minimize it that way, and just pull the colors that I don't use and keep the ones that I do. Try something like that. It might be up your alley, or maybe you're a collector and you really love having all the packaging. I don't know, it's different for everybody, right? But this is the way I'm doing it with my makeup collection right now, and I think that's a very practical way. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And that's it for today. See you guys later. Bye bye.